Hey guys, so today I actually want to do a quick recording of the gaming experience on the 2015 iMac 5K Retina display. Um, so basically, I actually have the Windows 10 installed on this iMac because if you're actually gonna use the machine for game, I tried the Steam installer as well as the Battle.net, and I installed Warcraft and um, as well as Counter-Strike Go. But the frame rate is just it's very lacking, and even with details all tuned down to the lowest setting, it's still not good enough to be able to play any games. So I tried something different. I actually installed a copy of Windows 10 using the Boot Camp, and I was actually quite surprised by the result because I actually installed the Steam and installed Counter-Strike Global Offense as well as World of Warcraft. Um, they're running very smooth on the iMac 5K Retina 2015 um, edition. So over here, I'm just gonna do some quick run around in Warcraft. I have the public testing realm installed, so it's beta. Everybody's waiting for the Legion release, so now we're just gonna have some fun and see how well the machine runs. So on the public test, I actually the system lets you make a 100 level character. So I made a priest because I played a priest a lot a few years back. So gonna enter the world, and as you can see, the graphics is smooth. And in comparison to running this on in Mac OS, the graphics is not even half as smooth as this one. So let's see. Let's see if I can turn the frame rate on, and so you guys can have a good feel of how the game runs. Let's see the shortcut for frame rate. Give me a few seconds to find the shortcut. Control plus R, okay. So right now we're getting 135 frames per second in Orgrimmar, and let's fly to some crowded area and see how it goes. So when you're flying around, the frame rate is still well over 100. In a little bit, I'm gonna show you guys the my default setting for this gameplay. So right now we're at the dummy area where a lot of the people are testing their DPS. The frame rate is at around 90. So let's go closer. So as far as settings go, I have it set at 5K as you can see, and refresh rate is 60 Hertz. That's what the monitor refresh rate is, and I have the vertical sync disabled. Graphic quality, I actually used a predetermined setting at 3. Basically, texture resolution is high. Texture filtering is 2 times anisotropic. I don't know how to spell it. I'm sorry. Projected textures is disabled, and shadow quality is low. Liquid detail fair. So basically, everything is on the lower setting, and the viewing distance, environmental detail, and ground cluster is all at 3. So, but in reality, when you're gaming at 5K, if you take a look, I mean, there's still plenty of detail in this kind of high resolution. So you don't have to worry about getting all the details dialed up to the max. But we can just give it a try and see how it goes. So I'm gonna use the ultra setting. Let's see. So of course, graphic quality at 10, so everything's maximum. And we're gonna hit apply and see what's the frame rate. And I'm curious. Okay. So in ultra mode, as you can see, the frame rate dropped to horribly 20 frames per second in a crowded area. And of course, there's more detail, even though it's really hard to tell from the ultra to the default the setting 3 that I've used. I think there's more graphic effects on spells, and the shadow, of course, is more refined. But everything else, there's not much a difference, especially if you're in a gameplay. You're not at all worried about the graphic details. So I wouldn't worry too much, but let's see if I fly out. So if I'm in the air, the frame rate is about 22. And remember, this is the ultra setting, everything's maximum. So of course I'm gonna dial back and maybe queue up on a arena and see how the frame rate is in the arena. I'm sorry, battleground, and I'll go from there. So change my settings back to my preferred level 3. I mean, let's try. How about let's try 5, which it says recommended. So I guess that's a system recommendation for the iMac 5K. At setting 5, frame rate in air is about 50. Keep in mind I'm recording this video at 1080p at 60 frames per second. So let's see. So on the ground, zoomed in, frame rate drops to about, it goes from 40 to 50 at the graphic setting 5. So still there's a lot of detail. There's a lot of detail. Like, you don't have to zoom in to see the details because it's a 5K screen. So let's change the settings back to 3, which is my preferred quality setting. And let's hit apply. And if you notice, when I hit apply, the only thing changed is ground cluster and the viewing distance. So it actually have a big impact on the gameplay, actually on the frame rate, especially the environmental settings. I think if you keep the viewing distance at maybe 5 for each of those, you see more of those grass on the ground, and you can see a few more details far away. But to me personally, I don't think it's essential. So still, 3 is my suggested setting if you guys actually gonna play WoW on your iMac 5K, or if you're thinking about actually purchasing the iMac 5K and you're worried about gameplay of some of your favorite games. Of course, it's playable. So I mean, in conclusion, it's playable, very playable with a lower graphic setting. And in arena and in battlegrounds and in dungeons, there's not much of a difference in terms of frame rate. You can have a well above 60 frame rate during gameplay. So I hope you guys find this review helpful, and if you have any questions, just feel free to write in the comment section below, and I'll try my best to answer you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and have fun playing.